So T'Challa wants to be faithful to a wife he clearly doesn't love. She wants to,
They're
be
not
this
sleeping in the
amazing
same bed.
queen.
Nah, let's start. No, they're not sleeping in the same bed, dog.
There are plenty of couples that don't sleep in the same bed.
He ain't hitting that, dog.
No, of course
They
not. No,
probably
it's a
did
state
good
marriage.
sleep though. And like she's very dutiful, so I'm pretty sure they have the most boring sex ever.
Whoa, hold on,
They
time
have
out. Wait,
it.
hold on. We don't know that though. She looks like she got that
You don't
fire
think
though.
it's amazing?
I don't know, bro.
Okoye?
Melage, she looked like she got that fire.
She probably has good knees, great flexibility.
Mark, you look like
I'm
you
just
want to say
saying.
something. Please interject.
I will use my Fifth Amendment right to not say anything that could be
Okay.
self-incriminating.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, all sizes, as the world continues to turn and the moon is full, we howl at the night. No, we don't. Because we
I was
forward.
about to say, bro. Yeah, well, I'm howling, bro.
We march
I was
forward.
like, all right, where's he going with this?
We march forward. We march forward as the city stays closed off. But 12 months remain because we are getting to the release of the Maker. The Maker is coming. My friends, this is Ultimate Countdown.
We made it. We didn't get canceled.
We didn't get canceled.
Yes,
no, we didn't get fired.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Ro didn't because the whole boarding and bagging situation. I don't think Ro has boards and bags.
You're killing me.
I have a bag. I just got to get a board. I have a bag. Don't worry.
What are you doing? What do you have? Like,
Do you have a proper mailer?
bag? Like,
I told you, don't expect it to be
What
perfect.
bag?
Don't expect it to be
bag.
perfect, okay?
Mine is naked too.
Oh! Yeah, well,
I feel like people didn't make a big deal about that like they should have.
that will be a completely different discussion. Yeah, that will be a podcast within a podcast.
Listen,
Yes,
I will not be judged, okay? All right? I will not.
No, you'll be judged. It's just that you will not
Should
change
be.
your behavior.
Yeah.
Actually, Sai is also on trial for this.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You also
What
do
did
not
I
bag
do?
and you don't bag and board your books.
Oh, I do. I just didn't have that particular book bagged and boarded at that moment.
Okay, good. Ro, you are on an island by yourself.
Wow. Is it because I'm black?
No.
I mean,
All right, listen, don't judge me. All right, listen. All right.
Yeah.
I need to look at these. So they're not bagged and boarded right now, okay? I just need to look at them while we're talking, okay? Don't judge me. I won't be judged on my own channel, first of all. Hold on. Time out.
Look how easy this is.
Okay,
I can't
all
talk.
right.
I have unboarded and unbagged comics behind.
All right, whatever. Fine.
Listen.
Anyway,
But I have the bags and the boards.
my friends, welcome to issue 2 of Ultimate Countdown, where we are chronicling the trajectory towards the Maker exiting the city and unleashing holy hell on our heroes that we have been reading up on. On today's issue, we are discussing issue number 9 of Black Panther, issue number 8 and 9 of X-Men, issue number 10 of Spider-Man, and issue number 5 and 6 of The Ultimates. Spoilers abound. Let's hit it. Sai, while you have a dog in your face, take it away.
Can you introduce us to BJ, by the way, please?
This is Blackjack, aka BJ, the neediest dog in the world.
Of course.
He is a poodle and cocker spaniel mix.
Yeah, that's a needy breed.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's adorable.
Yeah.
BJ, finally, the man, the myth, the legend.
But he's very needy.
Of course.
So since I'm talking, that's why he's here. If I didn't talk, he would go sit on the couch. But I'm talking, so he.
It's fine. We needed a 5th cast member because we're getting a 5th book. More about that later.
Yes.
Okay. With Ultimate Black Panther number 9, I liked it. I thought it was one of the better issues. Still have the slight problem of T'Challa being a side character in his own book. or he's just not given the most interesting arcs of the issue. But I still like this one. So I have it pulled up. The art is still great, and the story's moving forward a little bit more than it did in previous issues. So in this one, everybody is kind of following along with the assignment that T'Challa gave them, specifically Storm and Killmonger. They have to go look for this person. Like T'Challa didn't give them specifics. He just knew they needed to find a certain type of person with power to help them figure out what to do with vibranium in the form that they have in this orb that they found like underground. So they
Interesting.
go just anywhere. They're just looking for a powerful being, essentially a magician type person. So everybody had guessed it would be Doctor Strange since he's a sorcerer. And so they end up at some facility in Eastern Europe. To me, it's like a lab or a prison or both.
Yeah, that's
And
what I got.
Do they
so
say it's like Latveria?
it doesn't say, it just says Eastern Europe, parts unknown. So the two of them show up, and when they get there, they're assuming they're going to have to fight. And I think one person, like Storm, is able to take out one person, or before she even really needs to do anything, the facility itself seems to like open itself to them. The cool thing with the art is like the people guarding this place are like pixelated. So you can tell there's some type of tech guard. It's like they're not real, but they're real.
They're being obscured.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they
Mhm.
look
Okay.
like a pixelated image,
Yeah,
but their
I've
clothes
I've
look
seen that
real.
before. Yeah.
Okay. So they go inside and they're kind of not sure. Like they're kind of, it feels sketchy. Like, okay, we assume we have to fight our way into this place, but something inside there is getting rid of these guards for us. So they see that, they take data for T'Challa. They try to identify the people that they see, and they end up going inside, and a voice starts talking to them. And I believe it starts laughing at first. So they're walking the halls. And what I like is at some point, Killmonger shows that he's a little scared. Storm is like, we don't have to do this. We can
Mm.
just do our own thing. And I kind of like that she's not loyal to anybody. I like that she does whatever she wants. But Killmonger, on the other hand, he is loyal and he wants to keep his word. So they hold hands, and she kind of like helps them descend into like the basement or dungeon of this building. Then when they get there, the voice is still talking to them. And then it cuts away from that scene to Moon Knight and him indoctrinating people in Africa to get them to follow him and join his army against T'Challa. And then his speech is compelling. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't show if the people actually follow him, but they've gathered in large numbers. They're listening to him. It kind of reminds me of like parts of the Bible when like Jesus
Mm.
comes and shows up and like all these people show up and listen and they're expecting miracles. It kind of has like that vibe. And T'Challa is like covered in garb somewhere off to the side with Shuri listening in with him, and he's just kind of getting intel to see what is this man saying to these people. And at that point, T'Challa's like, he's gonna probably win them over, and I have to put a stop to it. And so at that point, I felt the sense of urgency T'Challa was feeling, and I thought he would like go right in and fight, but he didn't. And if I'm not mistaken, Shuri is trying to talk him down because he's alone. And at the same time, he feels pretty empowered that he can do it. My dog is, I hope y'all can't hear.
You're fine.
He's attacking something.
He's being a dog.
He's good. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wish you could see it. At this point, T'Challa and Shuri are talking about what they're gonna do, and then his body starts to morph. like a werewolf. He starts to morph into a real panther, and he doesn't fully go, but I mean, like his limbs are bending, his back is stretching. He's like turning into a monster panther. And then it cuts back to Killmonger and Storm, and they're meeting like zombie people. So they still haven't met this voice. They're just watching people she's controlling, and it's very creepy. She's talking through these people. The people are probably dead or about to be dead, and she's controlling their facial expressions. Everything is very creepy. It's like it's the book. This book is like a horror. Like
Yeah.
it kind of switches genres a little bit for one issue. And then finally, Killmonger like tells Storm to stay put. And I guess he turns a corner and then he sees this woman. She's like goth. She has this cute black haircut. She has a mask on her face. It looks like leather and chains almost. And she
She
introduces
fine as hell. She fine as
She looks
hell.
cool.
Hell
So
yeah.
she introduces herself, and I don't remember her saying her name or anything, but she's like a type of sorcerer of some kind.
Interesting.
So I don't know if she's going to be Doctor Strange in this universe or if she's going to be somebody else. But
Okay.
it was cool. It was scary. And I think it built up anticipation that this book really needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thing is, it was just a little too short for me. Like this was the one issue that finally picked things up, and I blinked and it's over.
Yeah.
Like I get it,
takes
Hill is
his
a busy
time.
man, but he does almost to his detriment sometimes.
I agree. And like before, I hadn't read any of the other Ultimate books, but I read today, like literally when I got off from work, I read Ultimate Spider-Man 1 through 7, 6 or 7.
Do you
And
like
I
it
could
now?
see the difference in movement of like how much action happens in the Ultimate Spider-Man book. And all of it isn't that interesting to me. It's a lot of family moments, discussions, it's a lot of exposition.
She answered your question right there.
Yeah, I know. I heard.
So,
I got it.
but I still want to read the next issue and know what's going on. I feel like more is happening in Black Panther, but so much of it is like off page.
Yeah.
And I think that might be the issue. Whereas in Ultimate Spider-Man, it's not that much happening outside of conversations, but it's happening on the page. And that's why it feels like it's moving more.
A lot
and
of
you're
it
getting the backstory.
I think a lot of it has to do with how time is moving in these books. Like Black Panther, it's not, each issue is not a separate month. Like for Ultimate Spider-Man and the Ultimates, those are separate. Each issue is a separate month. Like that has been confirmed. Not even that it feels like that's confirmed. For Ultimate Black Panther, everything is just happening continuously.
Mm-hmm.
It's not happening in real time. I don't. How is it for X-Men? Same.
Everything is happening in real time.
It's like each, But I think from the pacing standpoint, I think sorry what you said, like reading issue 1 through 7, there's a lot of famous stuff. I think Ultimate Spider-Man, the writing for that and the appeal of that, the people who read a lot of Spider-Man, are really big fans of it because we're getting something we haven't gotten before. Whereas if you're not the biggest Ultimate Spider-Man or Spider-Man fan in general, and you go and read this, you're like, there's a lot of talking.
Yeah, there is.
And even I'm kind of like waiting for stuff to happen, but at the same time, I'm just enjoying the fact that like I personally have never gotten to see this side or this character style for Peter. So that's why it's kind of like refreshing for me.
Or the supporting cast.
But yes, in general, just how things have been tweaked slightly with relationships and dynamics. But it's like one of those things where it's like, if I was never a Spider-Man fan, I'd be like, all right, can we get some fighting? Can we get some action? Can we get something to happen? Like, I don't need 5 pages of him just talking.
Yeah. And then I guess to like kind of circle it back to like Black Panther, again, for me, my knowledge of Black Panther is kind of limited. I've only read, I'm still reading Christopher Priest's run. and I've read a little bit of Ridley's. So like I guess I have somewhat of an expectation for Black Panther. But again, it always goes back to what I like about this one in particular is that it feels more character driven, and like it's also like a slow build story wise. But what I'm noticing now is like with the slow build stories like X-Men, which we'll get to later, and Black Panther, now everything is kind of starting to ramp up. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of the story. So this issue of Black Panther, I ain't gonna hold you. The last two were kind of like, yeah, stuff is happening, but not too much. But this last one that we just talked about, now I'm like, okay, now we're getting to it. Now we're getting to the story, and I expecting this to kind of just go up from there. Same thing with X-Men. So like Momoko and Hill, they're gonna take their sweet time, but when they finally bring you to that point, you're like, okay, it was worth the wait. It was worth the wait. But again, it always goes back to my criticism. Black Panther, for some reason, it just feels too short. I don't know. I get it. Hill is a busy man. I don't know what Caselli's schedule is looking like, but it's too short for one issue, dog. Like it's too short.
Or he could pack more into the issue. Like where we are with this issue, even the conversation between Storm, not even the conversation, like Storm into what's his name? Killmonger looking for her or looking for this person they don't even know who it is. We get them finding her first. So we don't see their journey. We don't know where they go and how many times they kind of fail thinking that they found this person, or how do you even look for somebody you don't know who you're looking for? Like what does that look like? So instead of taking maybe 10 pages to show them outside and walking inside, maybe every 2 pages we see them go across the globe, and like 4 of those pages they get, they have to fight people, and then they end up going and no one's there, or they find the wrong person. And then the last 6 pages they're going in and they have to fight their way in or whatever. She has to use her power. We don't even know what Killmonger's power is.
That's
he
right.
has to do something like how is he different than Killmonger in the movie and in Christopher Priest's run? So
does he have power? Do we
to
know that he has power, and have they alluded that he has like a secret power, or maybe he doesn't have anything?
I think
not that I can remember.
If anything, he just seems like a regular homie who is built up his strength, and he has weapons and stuff like that. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we've seen powers.
Okay,
I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't think we've seen powers.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I do want to mention something that Sai said. She said Storm doesn't seem loyal, to anybody. It don't seem like she about to be loyal to Eric too. Because listen, I still believe that baby that was teased is T'Challa and Storm. He gonna hit that. Yeah. I'm putting that out there. He is gonna hit that. She is gonna cheat, and that's what I'm waiting for right there. I need that.
You want?
Give me that drama.
You want the drama?
I want the drama, please. I want to see Okoye and Storm go at it. Oh, please. Hill, bro. I need that.
How old are you?
It doesn't matter. I need that. Like, hold on. Let me do this here. Yo, bro, I need that.
I want to see some tension too. Because they alluded to it. It's like T'Challa is on this path. His wife is on this path. And then there's the prophecy. And we all know the prophecies have to be fulfilled one way or another. And they all conflict. All those different things conflict. So T'Challa wants to be faithful to a wife he clearly doesn't love. She wants to,
they're not sleeping in the same bed. Nah, let's start. No, they're not sleeping in the same bed, dog.
It's not a requirement to be in love with somebody.
No, listen, ain't no way.
Just saying.
No, come on now, dog.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying that that's what I would do, but I'm saying that there are plenty of couples that don't sleep in the same bed.
He ain't hitting that, dog.
No, of course not. No, it's a state marriage.
What happened?
It's a state marriage.
It's a state marriage. And like she's very dutiful, so I'm pretty sure they have the most boring sex ever.
Well, hold on, time out. Wait, hold on. We don't know that though. She got that fire.
You don't think it's amazing?
I don't know, bro.
Okoye?
She look like she got that fire.
She probably has good knees. great flexibility.
Mark, you look like
I'm
you
just
want to say
saying.
something. Please interject.
I will use my Fifth Amendment right to not say anything that could be
Okay.
self-incriminating.
Yeah.
No, I haven't read Ultimate Black Panther past issue 4, so I'm just letting this discourse play out the way
Well, you're
God
selling me on
intended
these
it to.
knees. And
That's a wild statement.
yeah, I know. But it's good to hear that this book is moving in the right direction.
Yeah, it's well needed. So
Yeah.
I kind of wish we had another issue in the tuck before we record. I think, but we're not getting this next issue until like the end of the month, which is pissing me off. But it's going good. Like
Yeah.
I think 10 is gonna slap, and I think from here on out is gonna slap because I think despite the slow build, we have the groundwork now. We know who everybody is. We know who the players are. We know what's happening with vibranium and this other substance right here. So now it could be now it's all full sail ahead. And now we got this new Doctor Strange, which we're assuming is Doctor Strange. Now she's in the mix. So I think 10 issues, well, 9 issues is good setup. So let's go.
Okay, well, I have questions though. I want to know, why is T'Challa turning into a panther? What's making him turn into a panther? Is this like the goddess turning him into it? Is it the orb in the middle of Wakanda? Is it Doctor Strange?
He
I'm
got shanked
curious
by
about.
something. He got shanked
He
by
did?
something in the previous issue. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. He got
I'm
shanked
gonna
by
have to go
something.
back. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioning that in the last episode.
Mm-hmm. So and then
Okay.
that's what's kind of like leading him down this path. And then he got shanked, and then I think he went through like this spiritual journey where I think he did in whatever spiritual realm that he did change or whatever. But now we're starting to see that play out in real time.
Okay.
Yeah.
No recollection.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing. We got to wait a month for these issues, so it's like it's a lot to take in a month. I kind of wish these were bi-week. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
If not bi-week, at least twice a month. Like, well, I guess that is something.
Yeah, no, it's
yeah,
because it's tough to keep up. That's why, like with Black Panther, it's kind of like one of those things where I was like, after a month of waiting, especially for how, let's face it, this is rebuilding a whole new universe, not just
Yes.
Spider-Man. That's about Ultimate Black
Right.
Panther. Also, it's one of those things where it's like there has to be a lot of story, world building, lore, and everything else, as well as continuing off of Ultimate Invasion and stuff like that happened before. So it's like waiting a whole month. Like even I catch myself having to reread like 1 or 2 episode issues back before I read the most current one, because I've kind of forgotten, because we do have, like for me anyways, other comics I pulled that are kind of already
We have other
firing at all cylinders and pacing.
We have other life things. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's tough to keep track, especially when you're basically not all these issues tie in together, but they're all the same universe. So it's kind of like you're learning about all these different parts of this world. And it's like, for me, like I was like, man, I already forgot. I read 5 issues already of the Black Panther, and I already forgot most of like the little details of it. So I wish they were a little more quicker with the releases, but I'd rather it be bi-monthly, so they put the time into getting the issues like better. I wouldn't want them rushed.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
Yeah. Has it been Caselli on all 9 issues?
No.
Okay.
We had a guest artist for I believe 1 or 2. And also, I do want to add this in also. Black Panther may be the slowest one, but it's the comic book that pops the most color-wise. Okay. I was thinking about this recently. Well, last night. Ultimate X-Men, Peach Momoko style. It's very dark, but it's very warm. Ultimate Spider-Man, yeah, we love Chichetto, but it still kind of has like those warm tones to it. Even Ultimates, which is like the big book, I personally feel that's the one that should be popping the most color-wise, because that's the one where you have, all the team members. That's where mostly everything is happening. But even then, it feels warm. Black Panther, that one right there, it pops. Even with the guest artists, it pops colors-wise. Like I feel like it's more vibrant. So I think, the other books can take a note from Black Panther, if I'm being 100% honest.
I like the art in Spider-Man. The main artist, I really like their art. It's very
Geppetto.
clean.
Yeah,
It's not too cluttered.
it's
I
kinetic.
only had an issue with like when they were at the dinner. This
Yeah,
was
they
like
changed
maybe
the
issue
artist.
5. The faces were drawn
Yeah.
kind of weird, but other than that,
That
I
was a
love
different
that.
artist.
Oh, okay.
So they do a guest artists for issues that don't 100% focus on the main characters and instead focus on like conversations. That's what I've noticed about Ultimate Spider-Man. Like in the most recent one, for example, there was a guest artist for that one, and I felt like that artist fit. Like it wouldn't have made sense if it was Geppetto or
Yeah.
Chichetto for that one. The same thing with the dinner one, honestly. Even if the faces were unappealing.
Yeah.
I
So
still like it though.
yeah, it's not like I don't like it. It's just like I wish I feel like I'm more talking about the colors.
Yeah.
I feel like Black Panther is the one that like it pops out the most. But I do feel like if there was one book that should be popping out the most, it's the Ultimates.
It's Ultimates, yeah.
But again, I think the art is great all across, and the fact that we have 4 or 5 distinct artists and distinct like tones, it's great. But like I feel at least in my opinion, Ultimate should be the one that has the coloring of Black Panther or a color style like Black Panther. Because
but the coloring I feel for Ultimates fits the mood, right? Because right now Ultimates is like we're dealing with like a dour situation and a dire situation. It's very interesting and everything like that, but there's not any hope and optimism a lot in that book.
I still think you could get that across with it being with the colors popping.
Okay.
Yeah, because and again, this might be just a Marvel issue because I'll be honest too. Like I think Jed McKay's Avengers could pop a lot more as well. Because again, that's like allegedly the marquee book, and Ultimates is the marquee book of that line. But again, that's just a nitpick for me. Like I could be alone in that island. This is one island I don't mind being alone in. But yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, with that, let's move on to Ultimate X-Men. What are actually before we do, listeners, any comments? Tell us what you think about Ultimate Black Panther. Ro wants me to try something new. I am doing it.
Yes.